from your favorite. I can't even remember where we're at.
Neighborhood?
We're coming to you from our favorite neighborhood, Milf Estates, where over the weekend we had way too much fun. And we're going to get into all that chaos and new moms that arrived into Milf Estates this weekend. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, and you can find us at irrationalmoms.com, and you can watch us on YouTube. And if you do, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment for us. But okay, so this week, I do want to talk about a few different things. The first off, we did a bonus episode over the weekend because we're all together and our schedules are so crazy. We're able to sit down like in one room, record this episode, and it should be coming out this weekend. So stay tuned and, watch that. I think you guys are going to have fun, finding out some interesting little tidbits about us. Also, we had a question from a fan about all of our new moms from Milf Estates, and we will get into like how did we meet them? How do these moms how do we bring them into Milf Estates? And what we have a certain
sorcery
requirement for moms that are in Milf Estates. No. Also, and we'll talk about like little behind the scenes, like what it's like to actually, do a huge photo shoot with like 7 women.
Spoiler alert, it's like herding cats.
It is. And it's like, we are not supposed to be drinking before we start taking pictures. Otherwise, it turns into a big show. All right, so I want to start off first with Tris. When you were here, my children had very strong opinions about your snacks. And number one, they're children. You do not have to listen to them.
I know, but they bring some good ideas to the table. So I did get one of their ideas because I love nutty bars. I guess they're nutty buddies. Nutty buddies. So I made them all nice on a plate, and they smell like really intensely, and I've just been staring at them the whole time, like the last 45 minutes sitting here. But I'm like, these look so good. But I don't know. Do you guys just like take a bite out of them, or because I like to pull them apart? Like,
oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
What?
Yeah, they're like layers.
I like to get.
I think you're supposed to eat them.
I like to get a bite of like. See, I like to have everything in one bite, like a little bit of everything in one bite each time.
Wait,
you still get everything in one bite, but you can pull the wafers apart.
Can you, if you're not going to take a bite of the whole thing, can you like tear it in half so we can see that? I want to see the inside.
Yeah. I don't have an.
So, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to know, when you take a bite of something, a lot of times you bounce. Is that does that help the food go down your throat?
So I have been told that before, and I think it's because eating makes me happy.
Yep. It's like a inner fat kid impulse. I've done it. I see it's like, yeah, I'm so excited.
Like peanut butter jelly time.
I love that little video. I used to play it all the time for my kids. The little banana going back and forth.
Nope. Yes, exactly. Now I have to lick my fingers because I don't have a napkin in here.
Oh,
okay,
no.
well,
yes, those are great.
They're gonna be so happy that you actually went out and bought these.
I did. I stopped.
Yeah, they were mad because it was on they wrote them on the list for me to get over the weekend when we had our Milf Estates party, and I was like, I totally dropped the ball and forgot about them, and then they were just kind of really pissed about that. So I'm gonna have to buy them anyways. Okay, so well, thank you for doing that. They're going to be super happy. And yeah,
you're welcome.
I might have to try one.
Anything for snacks. I'll go out of my way.
Anything for snacks. That's good. All right. So the past weekend we had a holiday party for Milf Estates. And I will say it's like a pre-holiday party. And what did we say? I think we started planning this in August, right?
I think so. Because, yeah. It's really hard to coordinate, 7 different women / mom / working people's schedules. So it's really hard. We can't just let's have a Christmas party and everybody turn up. I mean, we see each other lots throughout the year, but it's hard to get every single person all together at once. And if people want to join, we want them to, be able to make it. So,
well, especially because it's the holiday season coming up too, right? So it's like you get towards Thanksgiving and Christmas and everyone's schedules are just insanely crazy. So, so anyways, we've been planning this for a while. So one of the questions from the fans is Basically, they just want to know about these new moms. So we had so many questions about like, who are these new moms? How did you meet them? How do you bring a new mom into Milf Estates? And I will say it's a lot of vetting.
Yeah. Right? There's some crazy women out there.
Our neighborhood has a very strict HOA with very strict rules about who we can let buy a house there. So, we can't just have anybody coming in there. And there's a long waiting list. So,
There are plenty of women who want to be in Milf Estates. But, we have like a very nice mom. Is nice mom, is that right? Like a vibe to us.
We don't like crazy girls or mean girls. That's not our vibe. Yeah, but it's hard to vet out. You really got to pay attention for a minute. Usually with women, if you kind of get to know them a little bit and watch them for a little while, you can figure out if they're crazy or not.
You can see the crazy come out. Yeah.
Because we don't need that dynamic.
Well, I also think that number one, it's like first, we have to know them too, right? They can't just be some random person that we've never met. And it's just, you've got to live in the neighborhood because we have to be able to come over and have coffee and barbecue and like hang out. So if if you're far away, it's like, that's not, actually, it's kind of goes against like the narrative of living in all the states.
Right. Well, and it's not like people are like, hey, can we collab? No, that's not what this is. This is our actual friends. Only our actual friends get to come to the club. It's not just strangers from the internet.
There's always people online. They're like, hey, let me collab or let me come do this. And I'm just like, I don't have any reason or desire to meet some rando. No. Usually it's guys, but yes, women do want to do that often.
We're not meeting strangers from the internet. Sorry.
Yeah.
We don't know what you look like. You might throw up a picture looking like some hot girl. And in reality, you might be sitting in your basement totally like naked and,
eating Cheetos.
Don't
I like Cheetos.
This wrong way.
You can't catfish us. We're too smart. We know about the catfishing, so don't even try.
Right. So I think I want to say we have a high standard too. In the sense it's like we really want people who are genuine and nice and who are actual moms. And it's not like I feel like we have our Milf Estates, and I want to say like we've created this, I want to say narrative, but it's like at the same time it's like you can't bring somebody in who says they're a mom but they're actually not a mom. That's people, our fans see right through anything that's false, anything that's fake. Mm-hmm. And so we try to keep it as
like a lot of characters on the internet. It's like, oh, let's pretend we're sisters to make money or something. It's like, no. We're just like being ourselves and doing what we enjoy. And hey, you guys like it? Cool, we'll show you. But it's it's not fun for me or like sexy to make up stuff.
Yeah, I'm a bad liar too, so that doesn't really work well.
Because you're so innocent.
I know. I'm so sweet. I can never do any wrong. I'm excited that there's another like fully blonde mom. I guess Annabelle, you kind of have gone blonde, so you're like blonde too now.
Ish, but not a real blonde.
You're dirty blonde. What's dirty blonde? But yeah, so one of the new moms is fully blonde. She's beautiful. I love it.
And I'm excited. There's another tall mom because until now I'm literally like almost a foot taller than everyone else in our neighborhood.
Both of the new moms are tall. Pretty tall.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
tall-ish.
The one blonde, she's actually the real sister-in-law to another mom, too. So that makes it nice and keeping it all in the family.
Right, and that's a real thing. That's not something we made up for clicks. They're really sisters-in-law.
Yeah. Loved it.
But yeah, it is kind of nice to have another tall mom because like because I feel like we're all really like under 5'6".
Y'all are short and I'm tall, and also I'm not like super skinny, so I look just double size next to y'all. So I was like, finally, you got somebody that's not teeny tiny, so I don't look so ridiculous.
You never look ridiculous.
I know.
Oh
you should not say that.
You're like Amazon woman.
Yeah, nobody wants to be Amazon woman you are the woman.
That's not true. That's not true. Amazon women are sexy.
You think that, but if you were Amazon woman, you'd be like, oh God, this sucks. I'm bigger than everyone. Trust me. Women are crazy. We always hate what we are, and we want to be something different, right?
Well, this is true, but I'd be like getting stuff off the top shelf and everything. Like, there's advantages, okay?
I don't mind being tall, except when I'm taking pictures with, everyone else around me is like, I can just like pat you on the head while we're sitting up. Like, I'll wear sneakers in photo shoots and they wear heels, and it sort of helps a tiny bit. Or I'll have no shoes on, and that kind of helps a little bit.
Love it.
Yeah, I know. I always have to wear my platform shoes if I'm going to stand next to you. Just to actually, you know. And then I always get the fans that are like, wait, how tall is Annabelle? And I'm like, it's not that she's not really that tall. I'm just really short. That's the difference.
I'm 5'9", which I think is probably above average for a woman, but it's not like I'm 6'2"
Yeah.
or something like super crazy. Just, you know.
Yeah, you're not.
I think I'm the shortest. I'm like 5'1", maybe 5'1.5".
You're
You
teeny
are the
tiny.
shortest. You are the
Just
shortest.
like snuggle you up in a little baby burrito and hold you.
And her little Skims outfit, that's super sexy. We'll just, you know.
Right?
This is Skims too, actually. I just threw it on because it was still in my bag.
Oh, I just threw this
my
on.
goodness. I know. I just tossed it on today.
I did wear a bra because it's a little thin and I didn't want to be showing out on the video part.
When you are wearing black, it's harder to see. So
That's true.
you would have been
True.
fine. So, you know, if you need to take it off underneath your dress suit, that's probably okay, but we might need to cut that out.
It's keeping everybody in control here when I bounce from the snacks. That's all. It's helping me out.
Oh my God.
There's no integrity to some of the bralettes that I have.
Okay, so I think we should roll into talking about like what happened over the weekend.
Yeah, it was so fun.
First, I want to say our weekend, we had it, usually we always meet like on a Saturday, right, afternoon. And when we meet, it's usually like around 4 or 5, and then we don't finish till like 9, and everyone, it's just so. But this week, we decided we were going to have like a girls' like little sleepover. And then,
You mean when I
Annabelle,
got
what
sick
happened to
and-
you?
I had to stay home one day, yeah.
Yes.
I got strep throat and I lost my voice. So I missed a day of our festivities, which was a bummer because, well, for me, I always feel like we always work so much that we don't really just get to sit and chill and relax fully. And so that's the part I missed, the relaxing part. So that was a bummer, but, you know, it's fine. Got the work done, I guess.
Well,
Voice is still
Yeah, but
not
then you
right.
had like this raspy, sexy voice the whole time.
I don't know. Is it sexy? I mean,
It's pretty
Yeah.
sexy, yeah.
it's a little bit irritating.
And also, I think because you were not feeling good, we couldn't let you make any biscuits and gravy either.
That's true.
Yeah, sad. So
Yeah.
sad.
No
But
drinking
you guys
because
did
of
feed me
antibiotics.
pie. You guys did feed me pie, and that pie was delicious.
Oh, yeah. So we did do a lot of content so for our promotional like pictures for the site. So for Irrational Mom. So we will, you know, we'll have those up as the, you know, the holidays progress. All right. So let's go through like how we basically do this, right? I think a couple months ago, when we decided to do this and we were, you know, getting all of our schedules and coordinated and together, then we go through and decide like what do we want to do, right? How do we want to do this photo shoot, and what's the kind of the theme? And it's the holiday, so we'll do like maybe some Thanksgiving, and then we'll do some Christmas, and then we'll do some New Year's, because again, we're not going to get together over the holidays. It's just not all of us together, maybe like onesie twosies, but it's just too hard. So then we kind of basically, like the three of us, I feel like, sit down and figure out like what we're going to do, what outfits are we going to order. And then from there, we let the girls know. We do try to have a schedule.
Right. Because if we don't have a schedule, it just becomes extra chaos, like between people drinking. Although there were a few drinks beforehand, but it's like fun to, you know, just everybody loosen up a little bit and all that. But yeah, we try to stick to a good schedule. It's close.
Well, yeah, and we did, right, like on Friday, write down the schedule, like, okay, we're going to do these pictures at this time, 30 minutes later at this time. And
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but that schedule always falls apart.
Because cats.
It's helpful.
Cats are
Yeah.
disorganized.
Well, and also when you have that many girls there, it turns, I mean, it's like, well, what outfit am I going to wear? And you think like, okay, we got 5 minutes to change outfits, turns into like 15 minutes because people need help with their stockings, or they can't find their stockings, and then they can't get the stockings that hit to the garters. But that's good content right there.
Then you trade outfits
Yeah.
with someone or whatever.
Oh, we do trade outfits a lot. That's always fun to go finding. It's like a new dress or something.
Okay, the one thing that we did do is that we had a fan that wanted some pictures on a hippo.
Yeah. Was it? I don't know. Was it a hippo specifically? I think they wanted us bouncing on inflatables. But
In the
maybe
pool.
It was hippo,
In the
I don't know.
pool.
Yeah. It's too cold in the pool.
Oh, it's way too cold in the pool. And I'd have to heat that thing up to like 90 degrees for like 3 days. And I'm still going to be upset having to get out of the pool.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but that was fun though. We did get some. Like
So,
was
because
fun.
Triss is the cutest, we made her get on top of the hippo and bounce around.
It wasn't even a coordinated outfit. It was just like random lingerie and heels. It's okay.
But I think,
Like anybody cares about.
yeah, so like for Christmas, we do, we all have our little Christmas stockings. And I mean, a lot of these pictures are like safe for work too, I want to say. So we did really cute little sexy little Christmas outfits. And then we have our stockings, and then we do some maybe a little more risque outfits, and then we go into New Year's. And I think what you said, Triss, like those New Year's pictures and those really in our dresses on the bar were just like very regal.
They were like a Real Housewives type situation. It was everybody looked very proper and sexy. I don't know.
And put together.
Right? We looked put together for once.
Hey, Annabelle, what was missing this year?
Drama?
Over previous year? Yes, drama.
Drama. Oh, that's right.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. I didn't know if we were...
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into too much details, but we had like no drama this year, right?
So,
Yeah, that
one
was
thing we're
nice.
not going to do is put up with mean moms and drama.
Yeah.
Now our vetting process is more careful now because we've maybe I don't know if I would call it a mistake, but maybe like underestimated how crazy someone was or something like that. How we politely say that.
I think we just learned.
We learned that.
Yeah.
Well, the best lesson when someone shows you who they are, you need to believe them. And so we had to kind of leave a situation with a mom who was. We're going to talk about this, or should I stop?
I mean,
Cut this?
I think it's just we just separated ways.
Just be nice
and
about it.
It's okay for like people to just not everybody's meant to be in your life, and that's the thing. Like
That's true.
it didn't fit the vibe, and there was just a lot of chaos in this person's life, and you can only be there for somebody so much before it's like this is like affecting my chi, my aura, or whatever.
That's such a nice way to say it. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
think that and I think we've talked about this too, like as you get older, and we were talking about this when we did the bonus episode, that as you get older, you decide what you will put up with and what you won't put up with. And I think as you get older, you realize your time is very limited, and what you can actually give out to a person, the energy that you're taking, that energy, if you give out to the wrong person, you're taking that away not only from yourself, but your family and the people that actually will actually give it to you back. Like not, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, if you give it to the wrong person, it's like,
Yeah.
what are you actually doing? What are you getting?
Right.
So just trying to be very like, politically correct about this.
Like no ill wishes to this person. I actually would hope that they get some ish together, but yeah, it's just not meant for
Yeah.
Yeah.
me.
That's
Yeah. So
much nicer than I could say it.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of fun, and it was just it was a good mix of women, a good mix of moms. Everyone got along.
Yeah.
Everyone was just there was, I think also too, it's like we want to make sure there's no jealousy too. And so I feel like when you get the wrong, if you're not carefully vetting women, you can have women that are jealous of other women, and then that really comes across like on the camera, and it really affects actually everybody's vibe when they're taking pictures. And
Yeah.
we don't want that.
No,
And
nobody hates a woman more than like a hater ass woman. I mean,
Yes.
they're
Right.
just horrible.
It's literally everybody's like, oh my God, you have the best butt, or you have the best this, or I love your, I don't think I could say.
Yeah,
"You
like
have
the people
mitts."
you're around or working with, whatever, should be nice to you and building each other up and
Right.
happy and not like negative about people or whatever. Because why would you be
Yeah.
doing that? It serves no purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, although sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to freaking do extra because I got to stand next to Poindexter over here with her freaking rock hard abs.
Are you serious?
What was it?
Are you
yeah,
serious?
I wanted Annabelle to make me some nachos before pictures, and I was like, I was waiting, and they were watching the game in that room, so I went and ate like 3 handfuls of Cheeto Puffs out of your pantry.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was like,
I would have made you nachos. I put them in the oven, and they turn out extra crispy.
That was on me. I said 3 times,
okay.
I think. I'll be right there to do it. But the Georgia Mizzou game was really good. And
it was good game.
Well, okay, so let's talk about
I don't
that.
blame you.
Someone was yelling while we were trying to get all ready and get everybody, like, get all the cats herded. And someone was like, I can't. Break away from the TV. But that was okay because it did give us some time to just kind of socialize in the kitchen and, like, get everybody, like, because I think we need to all, like, kind of have a couple drinks and then just kind of, like, mellow out. Say hi because we haven't all seen each other in a long time, and then
I mean, if the game was a blowout, I would have abandoned it. But I mean, it was like close to the end. It was really tight. There's no way I'm going to be able to walk away.
Yeah.
And even then, during the rest of the afternoon, we would do our outfit change, and everybody's taking forever. I would like new outfit on, run downstairs so I could watch the Alabama game because I was also very interested in that game. So.
Yeah.
I'd be just sitting there waiting already, and usually I'm a huge lagger, but nope, I was all ready to go because I wanted to watch football.
Yeah. So one thing I will say, and I'll add to this, and we can wrap it up, is that we do kind of have a hard stop when we're going to take the pictures, and that's just because we ended up having other family members come over afterwards, and we have like a big party, right? So we end up getting like catered food, and then the alcohol comes out, like all the real alcohol comes out. Like I don't know how much whiskey or bourbon was like drank that night.
Oh my gosh,
Not
there was
by me.
a lot of that
Not me
bottle
either.
of Tito's gone from Liz Marie. I can't hang with her. If I had one of her drinks, I would be probably past a certain point.
Oh, I can't either. Like, and I sit here and I'm like, if she's here like on a Sunday to watch football, we'll start like around 1:00 and like 1 till like whenever the last game starts, like 8:39. I can have a whole bottle of champagne, but it's like spread over 6 hours or so, right? Or 8 hours, right? I can like just slowly drink my champagne. That girl, the amount of vodka, I'm like, I would probably be putting my finger down my throat and throwing
It's
up.
just Tito's straight. Like it's
No
just
water.
Tito's on the
Tito's
rocks.
and water.
No, and water. She puts water in there.
Tap water, not sparkling water.
Oh,
tap
yeah,
water.
tap water.
Be clear.
It's a little
Tito's and water.
water with your Tito's.
The grossest.
Yeah, it's so
I just
gross.
don't even know why.
Tito's gives me a headache. I don't know how she likes that. There's so many people that rave about Tito's, and I'm like, ugh, gross. I will do
All it
Grey
is-
Goose and
It's just how it is.
Cranberry
It's
or
just
something.
Tito's is the name brand right now that's popular, right? But when we were younger, Annabelle, I think like I don't know if you remember, like Sky Vodka was very popular.
Oof.
And then
but that stuff's nasty.
Right?
Tito's is actually a decent vodka. Like it doesn't taste bad to me. Whereas, and I've drank a lot of bad vodka from my days in Russia, but excuse me.
I think you'd think there'd be the best vodka.
Well, there is great vodka, but then there's also the stuff they sell in like the kiosks, like the little bitty, think of like a mini mart or something. That's like the souvenir bottles and like the Linen or Stalin bottles. Like that vodka, that stuff is
No good.
no. I mean, and you know, I lived there between college and grad school, and so I lived with a family, and the daughter was my age too. And we would go to the country house and drink the vodka that they would just have, and we were all pretty poor, and it would be like if you didn't have a chaser for the vodka because you had to have something with the vodka. You could not just have this. If there's no chaser, they would take jam and mix water with it, and that would be your chaser.
interesting.
What?
That's very
I've never
interesting.
heard of that before. That's funny.
Did you know? And Annabelle knows this because she lived there. But in Russia, everyone has a country home. They gave people like these secondary homes because they couldn't like leave the country. So it's like, you want a vacation place? Here's your secondary home, your country home. So they all.
I mean, not everybody has them, but a lot of
but a lot of them do.
Yeah.
So we had some Russian engineers we used to work with, and then when they came over about, I want to say about 8 years ago, they brought us a bottle of like a vodka. So maybe when you're here next time, we'll have to open it up and see if it's any good.
What
Since
brand
you're,
is
like,
it? Do you know?
I don't. It's in Russian. I don't know.
I should
See if it
show.
reminds you.
I've showed this on my page before. There's a picture of me at like 21 or 22, holding a bottle. It was called like Ruski Standard, like Russian standard vodka. I think it's like this big. and it had like a strap and a handle, and I'm carrying it back to bring it on the plane. I somehow put it in a suitcase. Because this was right after 9/11, so it had to go in a suitcase. So I'm trying to remember how I packed it, but I'll have to find that picture. Maybe we can pop it up here. It's pretty funny. And it even came, I remember I was with my friend, and we were leaving the shop, and this girl's yelling after us. She's like, do you have a ski? Do you have a ski? And which is like, girls, we had forgotten that there was like a pump that comes with it because it's such a big bottle that I guess you can't lift it and pour it. So that's what she always remembers about that story, was when they were yelling, do you have a ski to come get the pump for the vodka?
Vodka needs its own pump. I need to see this. We need to find this online.
I'll get the picture and I'll send it to Matt so he can throw it up on the thing. So.
That would be amazing.
It's pretty
All
good.
right. So going back to like Annabelle, like all the college football this weekend, let's switch over to like Sunday, and we all got up early Sunday morning and watched the Dolphins and the Chiefs, which was a good game, but it was early in the morning.
It was a good game.
Yes. And the time changed, which actually messed me up even more.
Yeah. I actually didn't drink this weekend at all. Well, I had a half a glass of champagne Friday and a half Saturday because of my antibiotics. And so I felt terrible because I was sick, but I didn't feel any type of hungover. So that was sort of good. It made getting up at 7 to watch football on Sunday not quite as bad, but
Yeah.
That was a good game. I enjoyed it.
It was a good game. And I think the Dolphins are going to be great. I'm not necessarily wishing bad things upon the Chiefs, but I think that had the Dolphins had their crap together they had a lot of little mess ups through the entire game. They definitely could have won that game if they had their crap together.
Okay,
So,
but let me ask you a
keep working
question.
on it.
Let me ask you a question about this. Why is it the Dolphins? There's some disconnect because the teams that are not good teams, they beat by 100, but then they're losing to the really good teams. But they must have the ability to beat the good teams. But what's missing? Like, what's that missing piece? Is it just that they don't have because the coach is a stoner, or like what's the deal? They don't have like enough focus.
Well, I like the coach.
I like him too. He's hilarious. I'm just joking. I don't think I was just making a joke because he's like Napoleon Dynamite. He's so funny.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Because, Tua, when he first got in there, he was just like in his head. And I think that was kind of something that was talked about. He was really in his head. And it is very different to go from college football to the NFL. And it's taken him this long. That's why I feel for the rookie quarterbacks that just get like thrown in there because they have to start going. But like it's taken him a little bit to get his stuff together. But now they have Jalen Ramsey. Like Waddle is there, but I know he got kind of hurt this week. I just think they're getting there.
Well, also they could have won. There's so many different scenarios where they should have won the game. I mean, like when Tyreek Hill got the ball like taken from him.
Yes.
And then
the Cheetah's
defense,
jersey. I've never seen Cheetah's jersey be so dirty during a game.
Oh, I know.
Filthy.
I mean,
was it like spray paint from the field? Like, are they spray painting the grass? Because he was covered in green.
Someone was telling me, was that you, Annabelle, that it's like half turf and half like grass?
I heard someone say that, but I wasn't telling you because I don't know.
Or was that our
I don't know,
producer
actually.
telling us that?
Maybe it was on the TV they said it. I don't know.
But yeah, that jersey was pretty like...
I've never seen him. He's so fast. He's usually not dirty.
Well, I don't know if you guys watched last night, but poor Jets.
It was boring.
They lost. I mean, we were texting, right? It was horrible.
Yeah.
Freaking horrible game. But, Zach Wilson, Mama Poindexter will take care of you.
I don't even think Zach Wilson, it was his fault. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I think that his O-line is atrocious. And I mean, he had a lot of sacks. He wasn't terrible. He's not great, but he's not terrible, I think.
He's not,
he seems
threw
a little
that one
better
time
than
into the end zone, and his receiver just dropped the ball, like, on the, and I'm like, it will, I'm like, if it comes to you, try to, like, hold it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think sometimes they need a little bit of modesty too, especially if they're really good in college football. Because when he got to the Jets and Aaron Rodgers was getting there and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to make this guy's life
Oh, yeah, he's a
hell,
cocky
whatever.
little guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, number one, why would you not want to learn from somebody like Aaron Rodgers? I mean, he's a great player. So, and he spent a lot of time learning from Brett Favre. So, like, you should really take these into consideration and, like, learn from people and not be such a douchebag. But, you know, he'll learn eventually. He'll learn.
I don't see him ever being a great NFL quarterback. I think he could be maybe a serviceable backup. I mean, what do I know? I'm not an analyst, but I just sort of feel like that. He's
Yeah, but even if
serviceable backup.
Even if Aaron Rodgers was in last night, I mean, there's no way they could have won that. I mean, going back to what we were talking about last night, Annabelle, like, their offensive line is just, I mean, they should never have let him get sacked that many times.
Yeah, it's like them, the Rams. Who else has a really bad O-line? I'm trying to think. Somebody else has a really horrible O-line. The Rams O-line is just hot garbage too. It's very unfortunate. And I honestly think at this point the Rams are tanking on purpose because they have not done a single thing this year, not made one single move that shows that they care about the season in any way. They
might just have given up at this point.
I mean, they haven't even gone out and gotten a serviceable backup quarterback. I mean, the poor guy, you know, I feel really bad. The guy that's Ripien or whatever his name is, I mean, he's not good and he should not be on an NFL team. But there's people on social media telling him to kill himself. Like, guys, what the hell are we doing?
The social media
I know social media is the worst, but what are we doing trying to tell people to kill themselves?
That's so awful.
For any reason. Come on. It's horrible.
Right?
Like, I mean, yeah, he sucks, but like, first of all, if Rams fans, anybody who thought this team was going to be really good this year is delusional, or they were delusional. But like, really, we're going to tell some kid to kill himself? Come on.
Can we talk about this? Warriors. Like, we were talking about this on Sunday, that fans get more emotionally upset about a football game than the actual some of the players themselves. Some players are really emotionally invested too, right. But you see them after the game, like they're all out there high-fiving each other, hugging each other,
their
good
friends.
Game.
Fans at home are throwing shit and screaming and being all tantrumy, and their whole day's ruined. And the players like hugging each other and like trading jerseys. Like, get yourselves together, guys. I mean, come on.
I never understood that. I think statistically, like, watching football and having a team that you're connected to, it's like so much more prone to like heart attacks and stuff. But I'm like, it doesn't affect your life in any way.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Nothing different is going to happen in your life. Even if you have a fantasy football team, it is not that serious.
Well, my team won. I won this week, but barely by the margins because none of my players did that good, including Mahomes. Like, he missed like 10 points. I'm like, and then Kelsey, like, I'm like, he got like, I think 5 points out of
he
like
didn't do anything
18.
This week,
he did nothing. He just stood. Well, it's because
I think he was
his
triple teamed a lot. I think he was. I
was going to say T Swift wasn't at the game, so you know.
Yeah, it's the Taylor Swift, not the triple teams. That's definitely what it is.
We're going to say that's what we're going to go with this week. All right, so there was one other thing I wanted to talk about really fast, and that was how we actually say, I'm going to say us, how newscasters actually focus in on these players when they have had a bad game and they're really upset. And we talked about this, Annabelle, about how these players, you know, is it something that they should actually be, you know, focusing on them when they're like on the sidelines, like, and they're breaking down, they're getting upset. Right. And is there a difference between how we treat, you know, college athletes and then NFL athletes? And should we focus on, like, you know, should we be showing, I guess, the public and, you know, all of the fans, like, oh, here we have this, like, athlete that just, like, lost a huge game. Yeah. And then he's over here crying about it.
Well, but didn't he lose a family member or something?
Well, so there's
didn't he lose his dad?
There's a couple things. Like, this topic first, I was thinking about it when, you know, they showed Caleb Williams was crying after the USC lost. He was in the stands crying. But there was another player on the team, they beat them, who had lost someone that week, and he was crying on the field. And I was, you know, I saw a lot of people were talking about the Caleb Williams thing. The way I was thinking about it kind of was like, well, he was making fun of Max Duggan for crying last year after TCU won, like on social media. So I kind of felt less sympathy for him. But you're like, okay, someone is going over to their parent and getting a hug, and the mom was trying to hide his face with like a paper or whatever she had. So I'm like, maybe just stop focusing on that because it feels invasive. And then also thinking about the flip side, not the flip side, but like that's different than like injuries, you know, when they focus and show really bad injury replays over and over. And I know after DeMar Hamlin got hurt, they sort of backed away from showing those really bad replays, sort of, but then sometimes they still do. So, I mean, because, you know, we all want to see. But if you want to see, you can just go on Twitter and you can see anything. But it just feels weird and invasive. And to me, especially with college kids, because, I mean, most of them are legitimately still kids. Yes, they're legally an adult probably, but they're kids. And I don't know if it's right or wrong or how people feel about this. But to me, it's like they're kids. Give them a break. It's a little different if you're... So, like, Max Duggan was crying in a press conference, right, after the game. You're in front of cameras. So that's one thing. But when you're just over there, like, with your mom trying to get a hug, maybe that's a separate thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they focus less on the game half the time anymore. Like, journalism is somewhat dead in many ways in my eyes. But it's more about it's not happening, crap that's not happening on the field than, you know.
Well, I mean, they do that because that's how they get paid, right? That's clickable.
Right.
I want to see him crying, and I want to see him going to his mommy, and she's giving him a hug, and then they know that's going to actually sell versus them actually just reporting about the game.
Right, just talking about the game
after. But I do agree with you, Annabelle. I do think it's like, if you're an NFL player and they're focusing on you and you're crying, I mean, too bad. I mean, that's what you signed up for, and you know there's cameras here.
Right.
Now, if you're a college kid... I mean, I think it is a little invasive, but at the same time, I mean, some of them are getting, you know, scholarships too, and they know that they're playing for these huge, you know, Divisional I schools, and then they're going to be, is that even right? I don't really know a lot about college
true.
Kids,
and I mean,
so
pretty much anybody you're going to, I mean, for the most part, anybody you're going to see on the TV is scholarship, and, you know, they are getting some money, and also they do have media responsibilities as scholarship college athletes. So I get that side of it. I guess maybe it's the mom in me that feels kind of like bad almost. I'm like, oh man, that guy's dad died this week. Get the camera off him. Leave him alone. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's something totally different. I mean, exactly. But I'm like, if it's just a kid that's upset because they lost a game, it's like, well, I mean, I think get upset at some point?
I think in Caleb Williams' case, it's probably way more than losing a game. It was probably the realization that he is not going to win the Heisman again. His team is not in contention for a national championship because they have no defense. And so I would get, and you know, he does have an ego about him. I think his dad probably builds him up a lot. I mean, I like him as a player, but I don't know it's kind of questionable about the parent vibes are kind of maybe a problem. I don't know. So I still kind of feel bad for him, you know. It's like he probably just realized like a huge chunk of something he wanted to happen in his life definitely isn't happening. So I don't know. Maybe you should just wait till you get out of the stands, I guess, if you don't want to be on camera.
That's true.
That is true. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for this week of, you know, Irrational Moms. So hopefully you guys liked it. Again, you guys can go to YouTube. You can go to irrationalmoms.com, find us on YouTube. You please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also, we do have a Twitter and we do have a Reddit page. And if you have any questions for us, you know, we love answering any fan questions as long as they're safe for work. Because we're always looking for a question for, you know, next week's episode. Also, don't forget you can listen to us on the audio at Spotify and at Apple.
Yes, and we will be back with more snacks. And I am going to eat this snack in the meantime. That smells good.
Well, I need to see that bouncing too. Oh, there you go.